Hello everyone, welcome to our Thursday night Facebook Live. I'm Alyssa and I'm a registered holistic nutritionist and I am the boss gal in this group here for Soul Food Nutritionista. So I'm pretty excited to be in here. You know, I created this Facebook group shortly after I started my business because when I was trying to fix my gut, I felt so alone, so alone. I mean, no one was talking about their poop. No one was even really talking about feeling bloated or anything like that. It was just, I felt like everyone else was normal and I was like this weird, odd, like, what the heck is going on to my body kind of person. And so I felt like I was on an island unto myself. And what started to happen was I kind of started to isolate. I stopped going out to social events. I started to, make up excuses as to why I couldn't go. Or, when I started to feel embarrassed about always saying no, I'd say yes, and then I'd bail on the last minute and say something came up, or like I had to stay late for work or something that was like out of my control. But meanwhile, I was just sitting at home suffering. And so, I imagine that many of you feel that way too. And so one of the things that I noticed when I was looking for support and looking for help and trying to fix my gut was that there really wasn't any communities. I still felt really alone. And I'd go to a practitioner and I'd see them and then it'd be like, okay, like try this, here's a bunch of pamphlets, come back in a month. And so the first couple of days I'd be like, okay, I think I understand what they want me to do, and I'd implement them, and then I'd start to have questions and be like, is it normal that I'm having so much diarrhea right now? Or is it normal that my stomach is feeling this way? Or is it normal that this food isn't sitting well? And I'd have all these questions, but there was never any support in between. And so when I decided to go back to school and become a registered holistic nutritionist and really start focusing on helping people who are suffering from the gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, and even if it's gotten to the point where you've been diagnosed with IBS, when I decided that this is it, we're going to get to the bottom of this once and for all, and I'm going to teach these people how to fix their gut so that it never comes back, so that these symptoms stop once and for all. I realized that this group was going to be such a key component of that. And so I'm really excited to be here with you guys, and I'm so happy that you're here with me. So tonight, we're going to talk about bloating, because a couple of weeks back, I asked you guys, I can't even remember what the question was. I think I asked, what's the number one symptom you wanted to get rid of, or something to that effect. But so many people, it was like 90% of the people on that post answered bloating. And I was like, okay, I got you. I hear you all loud and clear. We're going to talk about it. So tonight, we're diving into bloating. And I'm going to share a personal experience that I had with bloating. So, I used to find that every time I ate, it just felt like I had this rock in my stomach, and I really started to wonder, like, am I just eating too much? I really thought that I was just eating too much. I really thought that I was just like this fat kid who was overweight and eating too much food, and that's why my stomach felt that way. And so every time I ate and I felt so heavy and bloated afterwards, I didn't realize it was bloating. I just, again, thought I was fat. So I used to carry so much guilt and shame, and I would say to myself, like, what's wrong with you? Why can't you just stop eating when you're full? Why do you keep eating to the point where you're in pain? And so I don't know if you guys have felt this way, but if this is you, give me a hands up. Tina's put her hand up. Give me a hands up in the comments. Give me a yes in the comments, okay? Let me know if this is you, because again, I used to just feel like I was just super full, but what I didn't realize was I was super bloated. And there was actually something wrong. And so I really thought that it was normal. It was far from normal. There was like a serious problem going on in my stomach, and I just kept blaming the food. And so I started to follow super restrictive diets, like just blows my mind. It makes me cringe when I think about the shit that I used to try when I was trying to fix my gut, because I started following these super restrictive diets, trying to eliminate the foods that I thought were causing my problems, but it wasn't the food. What I came to realize was that food wasn't going to fix my gut. Eating healthy was important. It was not going to fix my gut. Again, this bloating was from something so much bigger. So guys, more days than not, Valerie's saying. So you guys are not alone. Barb says, yes, weigh 125 and my stomach looks like a bowl. I hate it. I think that's what that says. Okay, so yeah, you guys are not alone. You're not alone. And I don't know about you guys. Let me know if you guys have ever done this. But I used to find myself like, I'd wear baggy shirts always because I was trying to hide my stomach. And then under the table, I'd like discreetly like pull up my shirt and undo the button of my jeans. And then discreetly like put the shirt back over top and hope to God that the buttons weren't like sticking out like this and making it obvious that my pants were done up. Sometimes the bloating was so bad I would undo the zipper as well. Has anyone done this before? Please let me know if I'm the only one, or if this is you, let me know with a yes in the comments. So, I mean, I just know there's so many people that are experiencing bloating, and there's lots of different ways that this can look like. You know, I'll share another example. I used to feel like, what is wrong with me? I can eat everything one day and feel fine, and the next day eat a friggin' breadcrumb and feel like I'm 9 months pregnant. What is up with that? Right? So, I mean, this doesn't have to be this way. What I came to learn was that there was something seriously wrong going on within my stomach, and it was within my power to fix these issues. So let me just read what everyone's saying. Okay, Melina's saying, on many occasions I have. Yes. Okay. Brittany, I eat and I bloat. Cross-contaminated by gluten, and I literally go 4 sizes. I don't own anything that isn't yoga pants or restrictive. Changed entire wardrobe. Yes, so did I. I went to like all stretchy clothes, like baggy shirts, baggy sweaters. You're not alone. Okay, so Brittany said takes me weeks to recover. Yes, so let me just share a moment with you where everything changed for me when I finally started fixing my gut with the 4-step gut repair system that I teach in my Love and Trust Your Guts program. I'll never forget when I had switched over my whole wardrobe to like track pant wear almost. It was terrible. It was like track pants and like sweater, or like yoga pants and like baggy shirt. None of it was flattering. None of it felt good. I didn't feel any better in my body. I just felt even bigger. But I'll never forget when I finally fixed my gut with this 4-step gut repair system that I was able to get rid of all those clothes. I actually threw out all of the track pant wear, and I remember making a promise to myself that I will never buy track pants. I will never own track pants ever again. And that was, I want to say, about 7 years ago that I did that, and I genuinely don't own any track pants. I obviously own yoga pants because I do actually use them for yoga, what they're used for now. But I stopped wearing my yoga pants to work. I stopped owning track pants. I very rarely wear sweaters because I finally feel good in my body. And so that is possible for you guys too. All right, exactly, considered maternity clothes. So it doesn't have to be this way. So let's talk about what's actually going on. So here's the thing. You actually have underlying imbalances happening within your gut that are causing your symptoms. I can't stress that enough. It's so important that you guys understand what I mean by that. So many people come into this group, come to see me, and they're stuck managing the symptom, okay? Let me give you an example. Following restrictive diets like FODMAP, GAPS diet, specific carbohydrate diet, paleo, keto, all of those diets, they get stuck in following restrictive diets trying to fix their gut. The food is not the problem. Your gut is the problem, okay? I see people stuck trying laxatives, anti-diarrheals. If you've ever had to take an Imodium so that you can go out into the world, these are not addressing the underlying imbalances. And I understand that you so desperately want to alleviate the symptom, but let me ask you, and please respond in the comments, let me ask you, do you want to be stuck managing the symptoms for the rest of your life with the potential of it getting worse? Or do you want to get to the root imbalances and fix those once and for all so that you don't have to keep spending money on stuff, laxatives, antidiarrheals, supplements, doctors, practitioners, all of this stuff, trying to manage the symptom? Let me know in the comments. Do you want A, do you want to manage it? Or B, do you want to fix it once and for all? Hey, Alyssa. Brittany's saying, hell no. Yeah, so we want to get to the bottom of this. I don't want to see you guys suffering forevermore. I don't want to see you guys stuck managing the symptom. So if you're experiencing bloating, it's not the food's fault. I know you're going to be tempted to remove the food and you'll think, that broccoli just didn't sit well. I better never eat broccoli for the rest of my life. Guys, that's not the problem. Broccoli's not the problem. Cauliflower is not the problem. Whole foods aren't the problem. Okay? So I'm getting a whole lot of yes, fix it once and for all. Done with it. Absolutely. Healthy and happy. For sure. Hey, Mel, I'm so glad to hear you're healthy and happy. I hope that's what you meant by that. So, we want to look at the real reason why you're bloated. And here's why. You have an underactive stomach. You have an underactive stomach, okay? None of the veggies, fruits, whole grains, none of the food is going to fix that, okay? We have to address the fact that you have an underactive stomach, and what that means is that when you eat, your body is struggling to break down foods. And so if foods are remaining undigested within your gut, they begin to ferment, my friends, and that is not good. Not the good kind of fermentation. You don't want foods fermenting in your gut, okay? What happens is that fermentation creates a gas buildup. And that gas buildup, you guessed it, creates a bloat. That's the symptom. You have gas buildup happening in your stomach because foods are not being broken down properly. And if we take it to the next step, that gas has to go somewhere, so pops out the back end and we've got gas now, literally. You're gonna be tooting and farting your way down the street, okay? So bloating is due to an underactive stomach. Here's a visual here. I, a couple of years ago, decided I'm going to grow my own veggie garden. First time. I mean, I grew some growing up with my dad, but it was never mine, okay? So I decided I'm going to grow my first veggie garden. And I'll never forget, someone actually in this community, a good friend, she sold me some organic squash plants, and I planted those, and I was so excited. I was hand pollinating every morning. I would jump out to the garden and I would take the flowers and I would hand pollinate them so that I could ensure that I would maximize the amount of squash that I would get in the fall. And fall came and I had a large, I think I had 8 or 10 like big healthy looking butternut squashes. And I was so excited. I was so excited watching these things grow. And every time I had people come over, oh, come look at my squash. You need to look at my squash. Okay, so I decide I'm gonna make squash soup, homemade squash soup, and I'm gonna try jarring for the first time. I've always just frozen things, but I'd never tried jarring. So I boiled the jars, I did all the things, I put the soup in the jars, I put the lids on, I let them pop and everything, but I made one really big mistake. I left too much air in the top of the glass, in the top of the mason jar. Usually you have to do that if you're freezing so that it has room to expand when it freezes. But what I didn't realize is that when you're jarring, you need to fill up the jar as much as possible, because if there's oxygen in there and there's not enough enzymes to break down the foods, then it begins to ferment. And so that's exactly what happened in my jar, is the food had oxygen in there, and the foods weren't, or the jar had oxygen, the food didn't have any enzymes to break it down, so they began to ferment, and it created a gas buildup, and eventually, guess what? Those jars, they blew. They exploded in my pantry. And keep in mind, this was about a month or two after I had made this soup. So man, did it smell ripe. It was disgusting. And I was absolutely devastated, brokenhearted that I had spent this whole summer working so hard to grow these squash, and they just exploded before my eyes. So your gut works really similarly. Your stomach is not able to break down these food particles because of stress, dehydration, travel, antibiotics, toxins, all of this general wear and tear over the years. So here's what I hear so frequently. People tell me all the time, I've tried everything and nothing's working. And here's the truth. So many people come to see me and they've tried everything, but actually fixing the root problem, fixing their gut, okay? So I'm gonna give you a really helpful tool today that I want you to start implementing to help ease off the bloating. Sound good? Everyone wants to fit in their clothes again, feel normal, be able to live their life? Give me a hell yes in the comments. So let's talk about it. We're going to be talking about apple cider vinegar tonight. Now, please, you might have heard of apple cider vinegar and thought, that's it? That's all we're going to do? Yes. Apple cider vinegar is so incredible, and you must go and pick some up because it is going to be so helpful in many, many different ways for your gut. So here's the thing about apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar helps to stimulate enzyme production within your gut so that when you go to eat, it's ready for digestion. So when you eat your foods, foods will be broken down because the enzymes are there to do so. All right? So it helps with digestion of your foods. It helps to reduce inflammation in the bottom. Well, I guess technically in your bottom, in your butt. It will reduce inflammation, but it actually reduces inflammation throughout your whole body. So it's particularly good for joint pains, or if you're getting other symptoms from your gut issues, this apple cider vinegar is a must have. You're gonna notice that your skin is going to change. You're gonna feel a big difference if you're consistent with it, all right? So here's the trick. Tanya, yes, Tanya said apple cider vinegar saved my life. I just want to give Tanya a huge shout out. Tanya was one of my clients. We worked together, and Tanya was incredible. She literally followed the Love and Trust Your Guts program to a T, and the 4-step gut repair system that we rolled out for her changed everything. So here's what happened when Tanya first came to see me. I hope you don't mind me sharing. You've given me permission before. Tanya first came to see me. She was experiencing constipation and some other bloating, digestive issues. When we started to actually fix her gut, fix the root problems with a complete proven system, her bloating went away, her bowels started moving. But here's the most amazing part. She lost 50 pounds. Now, when Tanya came to see me, she specifically said, Alyssa, I don't want to talk about weight loss. I never want to hear those words. I just don't want to talk about it, right? So she lost 50 pounds, and that was not even our focus. That's what happens when we fix your gut. Your body is able to come back into balance. So it's such an incredible thing, and I want to give her some kudos. So she did implement the apple cider vinegar, and so I'm going to be sharing this tip with you. I'm literally giving you what I tell my clients to do. So you can see here, I've got a brand of apple cider vinegar. This is Filsinger's, but you can try Bragg's. I really like Bragg's as well. And you want to make sure that you are getting the raw, unpasteurized apple cider vinegar that has the mother in it. That's what it says, okay? So you want to make sure that it contains, let me show you here, it contains the mother. I hope you can read that. It's raw with the mother, all right? You want the mother because the mother is the good bacteria. You're probably not going to be able to see this, but can you see the floaties in there? Looks delicious, okay? These floaties are the good bacteria, okay? This is going to be really beneficial for helping your body to break down your foods, but also supporting good bacteria in your body. So here's what you're going to do. Brittany says, it seems like a dream, eating without fear. It doesn't need to be a dream, Brittany. I'm telling you, it's definitely possible. It's happened for so many people that I've worked with. It's definitely possible for you. So please don't lose the faith, all right? Yes, Tanya's got her little recipe there. Brittany said, sure, delicious. Okay, so here's the thing. I've got in here about a 1/4 cup of water. Never, ever, ever take this straight. I know you're strong. I know you can take it like a champ. Please don't do that, all right? Apple cider vinegar is really tough. It's a vinegar, so it's really tough on the esophagus. And so we want to be gentle with your body. So can we dilute it and give your body a break? Again, I know you're tough as nails because you're putting up with the pain every day, but please throw your body a bone. Don't drink it straight, all right? So about a 1/4 cup of water. And I've got a little table here, and you're going to take your apple cider vinegar. Okay. Tablespoon. Pray for me that I don't spill this all over my lap before it makes it to the cup, but we're going to do 1 tablespoon. That's totally spilling on me. Into the glass. All right, here we go. So I got a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in here. I got about a 1/4 cup of water. And you're gonna chug this thing back. Here we go. Ooh. It tastes like a vinegar, that's for sure. That might not have sold you on it. Make you drool a bit. It's okay. It's all good. But seriously, 1/4 cup of water, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. When should you be doing this? You should be taking this before each meal, okay? Right before you eat. 15 minutes leading up to the meal, take your apple cider vinegar, okay? Now, I get it. You guys go to work, you're busy through the day, and you're probably not gonna wanna travel with your bottle of apple cider vinegar that needs to be refrigerated to work, all right? So I get it. If lunch doesn't happen, no problem. But can we aim for breakfast and dinner at least? Even if you got it 2 times a day, that would be awesome, all right? So right before breakfast, right before dinner, this is gonna really help your body to break down your foods. Now here's the thing. If you're finding that you've forgotten, you're like, oh shit, I've already started eating, it's too late, you can still take it, it's not the end of the world, okay? Let's say you've even finished your dinner and you're like, man, I feel like I'm pregnant for sure. Then no problem, take your shot of apple cider vinegar, okay? It's best before a meal, but it's not gonna hurt you if you take it during or after your meal, all right? So just get it into you at least twice a day. If you get it in 3 times, you get a gold medal, all right? But this is really gonna help you to break down your food so that we can get through this bloating. Make sense to everyone? So, it needs refrigeration, yes. Well, I like to refrigerate it, yes. Let me just see. I've always refrigerated mine. I'll see if it says on here. Okay, so this one's not saying. So here's the reason why I fermented. Yeah, it's not saying on here. Store in cool, dark place. So if you had a dark pantry that's cooler, you could definitely store it in there. I just keep mine in the fridge. But what happens is it continues to ferment in warmer temperature. So I put mine into the fridge to just make sure that it stays dormant and good. So Brittany says, I'm on board. Amazing. So guys, I hope this was super helpful. Make sure that, again, you're mixing it with water. You don't need to take it like a champ. If you're finding that the apple cider vinegar is burning your stomach, then please stop and know that there's some deeper issues going on, and we definitely need to address those first before you start replenishing the enzymes in your stomach. So what that means is we need to really work on the mucus lining of the gut. So your stomach is feeling really raw, and so if you're getting pain from consuming things like lemon juice or apple cider vinegar, then stop. don't push through it, and we need to get you on a protocol that addresses all the root imbalances as soon as possible so we can address the whole picture. Okay, Melina said, definitely looking for it. I live in a small rural community. So yeah, Melina, I have clients all over the world, and sometimes it's challenging to find certain products depending which country you're in. So if that's the case, then you can try actually making your own apple cider vinegar. That's a bit of a task. So if you can't find it, let me know and we'll get you something else. Brittany says, is morning medication affected by it? No, so apple cider vinegar is technically a food, so it should not affect your medications. So you should be good to go. All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off. I hope this is super helpful. I'm gonna see you guys next week. I've got a really juicy topic. I just know you're gonna love it. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.